most hated towns in the UK. Many towns in the United Kingdom are more developed with basic amenities than many places described as cities in some other countries. Thus, every town in the UK deserves some love. Still, the insatiable nature of man always craves more, even under the most convenient conditions. Hence, some of the UK towns are hated. We shall be unraveling here the 10 most hated towns in the UK. Regardless of the passion or intensity of the frustration, the hatred shouldn't be transferred to the persons living in those towns. It should be limited to the conditions making such towns unlivable and infuriating so that the concerned authorities can be called to order. Here are those 10 most hated towns in the UK. 10. Llangefni, Wales. We start our discussion of the most hated in the UK in Wales. Our first point of call is the Welsh town of Llangefni, the county town of Anglesey, which also contains the principal offices of the Isle of Anglesey County Council. Llangefni is located near the centre of Anglesey. It's also on the River Cefni, from which it derives its name. This county town is the second largest on the island, is hated because it has only one thing going well for it, namely playing host to local government, enterprise and industry. Social life and sports are not doing well in the town, and any time it features in the news, it's mostly for the wrong reasons. 9. Slough, England. Our entry to England to find most hated towns in the United Kingdom lands us in Slough. This town in Berkshire, within the historic county of Buckinghamshire, is our next point of call. Its vantage location notwithstanding, Slough is one of the 10 most hated towns not only in England but also in the entire UK. According to visitors, it's a town whose streets are littered with empty takeaway and full-off packets and empty beer cans. No single resident has ever contradicted this assertion. The quality of the food in the town's restaurants appears kind of made for losers who are just out to eat as much unhealthy food as they can without paying for it. 8. Didcot, England. The next town on our list is Didcot, a railway town which is also a civil parish in the ceremonial county of Oxfordshire. Also in the historic county of Berkshire, Didcot is 15 miles south of Oxford and 10 miles east of Wantage. The town, noted for its railway heritage, is just 15 miles northwest of Reading, with its station opening as a junction on the Great Western Main Line back in 1844. The town of Didcot has been described many times as the most aggressive town, not only in England but also in the United Kingdom. Regardless of whatever any dissenter found about this town, it will boil down to the same thing. It's a hated town in the UK. Travelling through the station for which it's known today will put you in confrontation with touts and gangs jumping onto passing trains. 7. Stevenage, England. Stevenage is another one of the most hated towns in the United Kingdom. It's a large town which many won't take any offence if it's referred to as a city. It's a borough in Hertfordshire, 29 miles north of London. It is east of junctions 7 and 8 of the A1M. It is located between Letchworth Garden City and Welwyn Garden City to the north and south respectively. Even at that, those in England hate this town because it's a far cry from what other towns in England have to offer. According to residents, greeting others with eye contact can be considered offensive in this town. Besides, there are a lot of fake brand names in Stevenage, this town. A higher rate of pilferage is being reported in this town, even at the instance of the parents. 6. Gravesend, England. Gravesend, a town in the northwest county of Kent in England, which is situated 21 miles east-southeast, has not been kind to the entire county. Telling you more, we can say this town is of Charing Cross on the south bank of the River Thames, directly opposite Tilbury in Essex. The hated town, located on the Diocese of Rochester, is incidentally the administrative centre of the borough of Gravesham. Less than 2 years ago, Gravesend was rated one of the worst places to live in the UK. In our post and video on that, we itemised compelling reasons why living in this town is a nightmare. You can see that post again to be reminded. The unfortunate thing is that the town hasn't improved a bit since it was so poorly rated. Things are rather getting worse. Therefore, it will be consistent if we believe Gravesend is not one of the 10 most hated towns in the UK. 5. Paisley, Scotland. Away from England again, we come birth in Scotland. The only Scottish town among the 10 most hated towns in the UK is Paisley, another large town. It is in the west-central lowlands of Scotland. Paisley is located north of the Gleniffer Braes and borders the city of Glasgow to the east. It also straddles the banks of the White Cart Water. If people are not living in the past, they should no longer have reasons to hate Paisley, yet the town remains the most hated in Scotland and one of the most passionately hated towns in the UK for something traceable to more than half a millennium ago. It doesn't get enough love as it features a droplet-shaped vegetable motif. While it has an English name, its origins are Persian and Indian. 4. Luton, England. The Luton featuring on this list of the most hated towns in England is not the entire borough of Luton in the ceremonial county of Bedfordshire. It is just the town of Luton that we are singling out as one of the 10 most hated towns in England. In this town in southeast England, if you venture out on a dark winter's night, you need special grace to return peacefully unhurt. All eyes will be on you in Luton as if you are from another planet or species. You can't easily tell whether the eyes are just prying or aiming at something evil, but what is sure is that at Luton you are in the constant gaze of muggers, crackheads and prostitutes. We are sure you do not want to have anything to do with these, but they are the ones welcoming you to their town. 3. Rhyl, Wales. We are back in Wales. The town of Rhyl is our next point of call. This seaside resort town and community in the county of Denbighshire in Wales is not loved. Lying within the historic boundaries of Flintshire and on the northeast coast of Wales toward the mouth of the River Clwyd, Rhyl, having the suburb of Kinmel Bay by its west and the resort of Tywyn by its east, is one of the hated towns in the UK. However, those who have visited the seaside resort consider it the most disgusting, not just in the United Kingdom, but on Earth. It has been consistently rated as one of the deprived towns even in Wales. 2. Dover, England. We can't end without adding Dover, a town and major ferry port in Kent, to this list. The town in southeast England that is facing France across the Strait of Dover. This town, serving as the administrative centre of the Dover district, had been receiving negative reviews, even from the most unexpected quarters. The residents are constantly being reminded that they have been left behind. Analysts have scores of reasons to believe that this home of the Port of Dover may disappear off the face of the Kent coast. 1. Aylesbury, England. The most hated town even in the entire UK is also Aylesbury, which is the most hated town in England. This is a historic city, an underdog in Buckinghamshire. There are a lot of things not going well for Aylesbury. In a Facebook poll, all respondents rated this town the most hated. Some even recommended that the town should not be visited by anyone not ready to waste his precious time and resources. If you are unhappy with this listing of the most hated towns in the UK, be assured that we empathise with you. We feel that way while compiling the list. What we have here is what the majority of those living in the town stated. Kindly let us know how you feel about this listing in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. This is Learning Canteen.